Alrighty, welcome my friends. Welcome cultists one and all. Finglui Muguinov Cthulhu Ridye Gognoggle Faten. Welcome everyone. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Something is I just shaved and I got a haircut. That's it. I don't look like a homeless person. I just don't look like a homeless person. That's all. Thanks for the compliments, my friends. I just didn't want. I couldn't go to DEF CON looking like a homeless person. That's all it is. That's all there is to it. How is everyone on this fine Newbie Tuesday? The pre-DEF CON Eve Newbie Tuesday. Actually, that's not true. DEF CON starts on Thursday, and I'm just going there tomorrow. Hair today, gone tomorrow. Like, I appreciate that I appreciate Skyworm Temp. Your first time chat was a dad joke. I appreciate that. I see you. Yeah, I hope you feel very seen right now. And Lightwise, thank you for the follow. Cthulhu Faten to you, my friend. Let's fucking go, indeed. Let's fucking go. No stream on Thursday. No normal stream either on Thursday or Sunday. I'm going to be in Las Vegas and at DEF CON. If you are gonna be at DEF CON, make sure to reach out to me. Reach out to me, and I'll come meet up with you. I'll shake your hand. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to hang out. Okay. You lost a couple of years. Yeah. I looked like a homeless person. I fully agree. I looked like a homeless person. I don't really like my hair that long, to be honest with you. I just kind of let it grow out because I don't care. I just don't care enough. So, but I had to get a cut before DEF CON because I didn't want to go to DEF CON looking like that. So I did get my hair cut. For those who don't know, DEF CON is a yearly convention that takes place in August in Las Vegas, right on the Las Vegas Strip. This year it's on, I believe, this year it's not on the Caesars side of the Strip. It's on the northern side of the Strip. It's in the Link and Bally's. It's across from multiple casino hotels. But I don't remember. I haven't looked at the layout, honestly. You look better with hair on your face. I know. I do like a little grizzle. I just don't like it. I just don't like it too long. Yeah, it is the 30th anniversary. This is DEF CON number 30. I'm hoping that it's more or less back to full strength. DEF CON 2019 was fucking banging, dude. It was fucking mad. It was a fucking madhouse. There were 30,000 people there that year. 30,000 people crammed into the Las Vegas Strip. And it was a fucking madhouse. I had so much fun. It was a great time. And last year, they canceled it in 2020. And then 2021, they had it. But it was like very subdued. It was like a hybrid DEF CON. Like you could go in person, but they were also selling online tickets and stuff. So it was like a hybrid situation. A lot of the talks, most of the talks were online, only online and not in person. And the villages, there were only a couple of villages. We still had fun. We still had a good time. I still had fun hanging out with the degenerates of my community. But this year I'm hoping we get back to the mayhem. I want to go back to the craziness, the lunacy. Nougats with 5 new cult initiates, you kind soul. Jafasta, that guy, Mercs, Demetron, and Gray Fox. Welcome to the Alhaz Red Team, my friend. Thanks for supporting the stream. I wanted to stick around to say thanks to you for your stream. Started watching recently. I believe your Newbie Tuesdays helped me refine my enumeration process and help me pass OSCP this week. Hey, I'm so glad to hear that. Alhaz Draco's in chat for Nuggets. Alhaz Draco's in chat for Nuggets. Well done. What you did was not easy, Nuggets. Congratulations on your OSCP. You should be very, very proud. Very, very proud. So yeah, I will be at DEF CON. I think I come back on Monday. So the next stream will be a week from today. The next stream will be a week from today. The next Newbie Tuesday. I'm not ruling out any impromptu streams while I'm there. I'm just not planning anything. DEF CON is kind of it's chaos. DEF CON is often chaos. What will you guys talk about at Red Team Village? You're just gonna have to tune in and find out. It's gonna be on the keynote. I am a keynote panelist for DEF CON. Nahamsek, John Hammond, and Zero Day are the other panelists. So tune in on Friday for that stuff. Vegas hot tub stream. We did do a stream at the DEF CON pool party last year. If they do DEF CON pool party again, we may stream there again. You're telling me that when a load of hackers assemble, it's chaos? No way. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely mayhem, and I know that's very surprising. It is, yeah. Didn't you break into the pool party? Yeah, I did break into the pool party. That's a long story. But I was authorized to be at the pool party, okay? I just didn't want to go back to my hotel room. I just said, no, I'm not going back to my hotel room to get the badge. The badge, like, look at the badge, okay? Here's an average DEF CON badge. Here's the one. Here you go. DEF CON badges are not badges. Like, they're not, like, look, this is the one from last year, okay? This is the one from last year. Do you see how it's like a circuit board and it has buttons that you press? The battery is dead now, but it used to light up when you press the button. You could, like, play Simon. You could connect them to other ones. They were pretty cool. But that's the way that DEF CON works all the time. They give you these fancy badges that have, like, some kind of function that you're supposed to play with and figure out, which is pretty cool. My point is, it's not the kind of thing you'd be expecting to bring to a pool party, okay? That's not the kind of thing that you're like, oh, we're going to a pool party. Let me just grab my tiny computer and bring it with me to the pool party. So I walked all the way from Planet Hollywood to Bally's. Now, if you look at Google Maps and look at how far away Planet Hollywood is from Bally's, it's going to seem like it's like a couple of minutes of a walk, and why would Al care about that? But what you're forgetting is that it's on the Vegas Strip. And everything on the Vegas Strip is A, walkable, and B, takes 40 minutes to get there at a minimum. Like, like, something, you could be able to throw a rock and hit something, it'll take you 20 minutes to get there. For some fucking reason, you just have to, because you're walking through 4 hotels and casinos to get there. You come out the wrong casino exit, you have to go back in and go out the other exit. Rent a bike. You've never been on the Vegas Strip, have you? Hunt. Tell me you haven't been on the Vegas Strip without telling me you haven't been on the Vegas Strip. Anyway, it takes fucking forever. It took me fucking forever. Last year, I didn't plan ahead and get a hotel room in Bally's. This year, I planned ahead. I got a hotel room where DEF CON is being hosted, so I have less walking this year, hopefully. But I was in Planet Hollywood last year, and it was quite a walk. It was a walk to get to DEF CON. I was, like, down the strip from where DEF CON actually was. Anyway, I walked all the way to Bally's, all the way to the back where their fucking pool party is, and the guy's like, the dipshit's like, you gotta have a badge. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm wearing a DEF CON hoodie. I was wearing a DEF CON hoodie at the time, and I was with a bunch of other people who all had their badges. Is Helen going this year? Yeah, she'll be there. But anyway, he bounced me, and I just said, fuck that. And I went and hopped the fence to get into I just went outside and hopped the fence to get to where the pool was. And yeah, we did stream in there. We streamed the $20 drinks, which for some reason, are a thing. Well, were a thing. They were a thing. It was a physical pen test went. I wasn't trying to do a physical pen test. I just wanted to be in the pool party, but I didn't want to walk the 40-minute round trip that it was going to take to go all the way back to my hotel room, get my fucking badge, and walk all the way back. I just wasn't going to do that. It just wasn't going to happen. I'd been walking around all day at that point, and I was tired of walking. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing this week. I'm not ruled. There may or may not be some impromptu streams along the week. As time goes on, we will see. No normal streams on Thursday. No normal stream on Sunday because I will be there. I just got the parallel tools installed on the 5.8 kernel. Is it working now? Oh, who is? Yeah, send me the walkthrough. Yeah, if you've got a walkthrough to get the Parallels tools installed with the 5.18 kernel, that'd be fucking great. Who is it? Yeah, send that to me. I'd appreciate it. I really would appreciate that. I tried installing the headers manually. I tried even I was considering even reverting the kernel. But I eventually just decided to go with their earlier image. But if you've got a way to get it working with the 5.8 kernel, I'd love to see that. Anthony J.A. with a 12-month re-indoctrination. Jonas with the 2-month of Prime. Welcome back to the All Has Red team for the both of you. Thanks for supporting the stream, fellas. I wish I could attend a hacking convention. I feel like I get so much out of it. You should go, Reaper Grim. There's going to be plenty of DEF CON content online, so you can kind of live vicariously through all of us. But if you can, I've always said it, if you have the means or you have a company that will pay for you to go, you should go to DEF CON. Like, I mean that in all honesty. You should go to DEF CON if you can. Like, it is such a this is a very small industry. It's a tiny, tiny industry. And a lot of us go to DEF CON. So it's crucial for networking. You're not even there for the talks. In fact, I would say, like, maybe you'll go to a couple of talks that are particularly interesting, but that particularly interests you, that is. But in general, if you're spending a lot of time in talks, you're not spending your time how you should be. You should be spending your time interacting with people, talking to people, building relationships, building a rapport, getting to know people in person, going to the villages. The villages are such a good time. Go to the villages, hang out with people. You'll see John Hammond will be there. 0 Day is going to be there. Nahamsek's going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're all going, okay? So, and if you're there, reach out to me and I'll meet up with you and we'll hang. Why can't they co-schedule My Little Pony Furry and DEF CON conventions at the same time? Dude, I can't even imagine how A, how crowded it would be, and B, what the stench would be. Can you imagine? Like, they'd have to fly helicopters overhead and, like, dump liquid deodorant like they do to put out fires. To get rid of that stench, like they do to put out fires in California when the whole state lights on fire every month. What does it cost? I don't know what they're charging this year. I think it's $300 for this year, just for to get into the convention. I'm not really sure. But you want to bring a whole bunch of cash because there's plenty of stuff to buy there that's all interesting. I'd probably get a white t-shirt and Dice Squall autograph it if I get there. Yeah, the hotel is the majority of the cost, and a lot of the hotels will fucking get you. They'll look like you'll go on Travelocity or whatever, and you'll go on Travelocity and you'll pick the cheapest hotel, like generally the Link, because the hotel rooms at the Link are really just closets. Generally the Link is the cheapest. The Link or Planet Hollywood tends to be the cheapest. And then and you'll see it's like $70 a night. That's not too bad for right on the Vegas Strip. But then when you're checking out, they hit you with like a billion fees. You got the room service fee and the I don't know, the toothpaste fee and the checking out on time fee and the fee. You don't think you're going to get I mean, did you think you're really going to pay all these fees without paying a fee to pay the fees? And the resort fee. Yeah, the resort fee. They hit you with like a dozen fees, which drives up the cost of the hotel back to what you would expect. So, the hotel is the lion's share of the cost if you're staying in a hotel for the whole time. But it is worth it to go if you have the means, in my opinion. Let's do Newbie Tuesday. let's get going, okay? Let's start Newbie Tuesday. Feel free to keep asking questions about DEF CON or whatever. But let's just start Newbie Tuesday. Let's get going. Let's start doing it. Who would have thought a casino could be so I know exactly. I for one am shocked.
A hunter must hunt.
God forbid you touch anything from the... Yeah, if you, like, even so much as open the room fridge, there's like a $20 fee for that. Jay-Z bringing Gromit into the cult. Welcome, Gromit. And thank you, Jay-Z. Welcome to the All Has Red Team, Gromit. You look at the fridge, it's fine. Yeah, you look at the fridge, they charge for that now. They have, like, they can tell... The fridge has a little camera on it. They can tell when you're looking at it. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal because you don't spend any time in the hotel. Just get the cheapest possible hotel. If you're spending time in the hotel in DEF CON, you're doing it wrong, okay? You're absolutely doing it wrong. If you're at DEF CON and you're spending time in your room, I come into my room and I collapse and I go to sleep. And then I get up in the morning, I get dressed.
A hunter must hunt.
I'll take a shower. I know. DEF CON attendee taking a shower. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy talk. But then you leave the room and you're gone the whole day. You might come back to get something you left behind or something. You shower. I know, dude. I know. So DEF CON or Black Hat? DEF CON. Every time. DEF CON is better than Black Hat. Black Hat is also great, but it's very commercialized. All the companies pay to get their talks in there. And you get good talks at Black Hat, but it's more commercialized. DEF CON is more chaotic. It's more of a giant party. It's more of a giant party that you're taking part in with a bunch of like-minded people for 5 days. Reaper Grimm with the 4-month re-indoctrination into the cult. Welcome back to the All Has Red Team, my friend. Thanks for supporting the stream. Black Hat really seemed like Vought Cybersecurity is running it. Yeah, no, that's absolutely... No, that 100% is what that Black Hat feels like. Go to DEF CON. If you can get away with it, go to DEF CON. Don't be like Maticus Maximus and every year say, oh, I'm going to go next year for sure. I can't do it this year, and then just never actually go. Who is this guy taking Mr. Streamer's place? He looks groomed. Yeah, I know, exactly. I don't look like a homeless person. It's nutty. It's pretty nutty. All right, challenges. Where is DEF CON? It's on the Las Vegas Strip. If you've seen any pictures of Las Vegas, you've probably seen pictures of where DEF CON is located. Let's go to this. Maticus, I'm just giving you a hard time. Will you chill? DEF CON is not the most important thing in the universe. That's all. Get hyped for DEF CON? Yeah, dude, I fly out tomorrow. I'm gonna be there. I should hit the strip. I think around probably 2 p.m. Probably. I should be hitting the strip around 2 p.m. Looking for something to eat. Because I'll be hungry by the time I get there. That's based on when, that's assuming my flight doesn't get canceled or moved around or anything. I'm not coming from the East Coast is getting slammed by thunderstorms right now. We had those thunderstorms days ago. Before they made their way across the country to there. So, hopefully there won't be any delays with my flight, and I should be out and about in the strip at about 2 p.m. tomorrow. Is DEF CON doing their multiple? I believe so. Yeah. Convince John Hammond, dude. You just gotta ask him. I'm sure he would if you asked him. Like John Hammond, legitimately. I've met John Hammond several times in real life now. I'd even be pleased to call him a friend. He's a good, and I have to say, just the nicest possible dude. Like, really, I have nothing negative. Even if I wanted to say negative things about John Hammond, I can't say any negative things about him. He's so kind, and generous and fantastic, honestly. Where are you based? No, I live in Denver, so it's like a 45-minute flight. It's like other people like the East Coast is where most cybersecurity people live. I think there's just a lot of work for us there. So they're having like 4.5 hour flights. My flight is only like 45 minutes. His malware analysis video. Yeah, he's a blue teamer. I would expect his malware analysis to be on point. All right, what are we doing? It's Newbie Tuesday. It's Newbie Tuesday. Let's start with one of these easy boxes. Denver's a really nice place. It has its flaws, but I really like living here. Committed. We're going to start with an easy box, and then we maybe move to a medium box if we're feeling it. Agent T. Let's see. Cyber Heroes sounds good. TryHackMe, nice place. Yeah, I like TryHackMe. It's we've been mad at Dig Dug. I think someone said that was a quick one. We've been mad at Hack the Box because their stupid VPN keeps going down. So I haven't done Hack the Box in a week or two. But we often do Hack the Box on the stream. It's just their VPN went down like 3 streams in a row, and I'm done with that. How low are your morals? Indeed, Flatline. Yeah, we'll probably do. It'll probably be a fast box. But we like to warm up on an easy box, especially on Newbie Tuesday. It is Newbie Tuesday, so we do a little bit easier boxes on Newbie Tuesday. If you want more malding, you're gonna have to come in on Cthulhu Thursday. VIP Plus VPN. I'm on the moderator VPN of all things. Like I'm literally on the staff VPN, and it's been going down. I feel like the staff VPN would be strong. Are we gonna continue Wreath? We're gonna continue Wreath next Tuesday. I just don't want to. I don't want to get like a lot of the way through Wreath and then go to DEF CON for a couple of days and then not finish it. We're gonna finish Wreath next week when I can slam it out in a series of streams. I changed from red to blue, but blue is harder. I mean, it depends on what you do. Both red and blue have different roles, and those roles will require different skill levels. I had to take a shitload of notes to finish Wreath. I just don't want to get like halfway through it and then have to stop and forget where we are. Like I have that big problem whenever we do big networks and stuff. I just forget where we are. I forget all of the little hints along the way, and so on. So I want to hit up Wreath again. But I want to do it where I can like take a couple of streams and like slam it out. So I don't forget everything. While you're getting your votes in, let me get some water. It looks like Agent T is in the lead though. Alrighty. Get the girl while you're out there? Well, let me see. Sweet pea. Hi, Annie. Looks like Agent T was selected. We'll knock that thing out here in a second. I think she does need her nose booped. I think you're right. Yeah, we booped that nosy. She seems willing today. She'll tolerate it for about another 20 seconds, I estimate. But now she's starting to get fussy now. Yep, see? Okay, real quick, long cat. The people want to see the long cat. They want to see how long you are. You are long cat. She never wants to, like, properly do it. Say hi to your faithful. Say hi to your fans. Star doesn't like to be held in general. On her back. Not on her back. Like, she just doesn't like to be held. She'll tolerate it for about 20 seconds on average. Alrighty. Agent T was selected. Let's get going. Let's change the webcam. Let's move that over. There we go. All right, let's get going. It is Newbie Tuesday. We'll take our time. You forgot your water? I have my water right here. Persian99 and Loud Laddie, thank you for the follows. Cthulhu fought into the both of you. All right, let's see what's up. Join room. We see Husky and O'Day have done this. Alrighty. By the time you get set up with the box, I'll already be done with it. Well, that makes a good Newbie Tuesday box. There's plenty to explain then. Again, this is Newbie Tuesday. We don't want to go too banana sandwich with the first box. I want to make sure that we're approachable. This is the day we try to be approachable to beginners, okay? Okay. Yeah, who is Sin? If you're still in chat, send me that walkthrough for how to get Kali set up with the Parallels tools. I want to see that shit. Don't tease me. Don't tease me like that, okay? It's not acceptable. What's your terminal theme? This is Cool Retro Term, which is a different terminal emulator entirely. This is just Cool Retro Term, and yeah, it is pretty cool. I use it on stream. Do you have any experience extracting hashes from an MS-SQL? You can usually just strings an MS-SQL file and look for hash-like strings. I appreciate that, Who is Sin, yeah. Don't tease me like that, okay? Because I wrestled with that for a good part of an evening. A good part of an evening before I finally just decided to go with the older image because I was tired of wrestling with it right now. Based on what I read on the Parallels forums, apparently Parallels tools is not compatible with the most recent Kali kernel. And it just didn't seem... I tried installing the headers manually. I was going to revert the kernel and decided against it. Why did I just ping myself? Okay. So we can ping the box. This is the box's IP address. What do we immediately notice? As always, what do we immediately notice? Yeah, the time to live. So when we ping a box, we're primarily just trying to make sure that, you know, our VPN is working correctly and we can reach the box properly. That's primarily what we're trying to determine. You ping yourself to find out if you're still there. I just wasn't thinking. I meant to ping the box, and I just typed my own IP address instead. Parallels just released PD18, and tools installs flawlessly now. They must have just done it. Like, I ran through this process, like, Wednesday of last week. They must have literally just released it. And if that's the case, it's today. Oh, well, fuck. I guess there you go. I guess there you go. They just released it. Okay, fine, fair enough. I've been working with UTM to emulate Windows for the time being. But if But if Parallels is working well, probably just go with that. Can you still ping if the firewall is on? Yes, if the firewall is configured to respond to pings. What you should be noticing here, one interesting little tidbit is this time to live. So, what is the time to live field? The time to live field is a field in pings that's basically a lifespan for the ping packet. Every time an ICMP packet crosses a router, the time to live field is decremented by 1. And if it hits 0, then the packet is just dropped. Okay? So, what this prevents is it prevents routing loops. It prevents ICMP packets from getting stuck in infinite routing loops and clogging up networks. So that packets don't last forever. Hopefully that makes sense. But the time to live is a completely arbitrary value, so different operating systems will set it to different things. So Windows tends to set it to 128 by default, which is modifiable, and Linux will set it to 64 by default. So what does this mean? What is 61? What does 61 indicate? This is a Windows machine with 80 hops. Yeah, I would not go straight to that, especially because your math seems to be a little bit off there. Yeah.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Look, look, Fantasy Sohal, they're paying you to hack, not to do math. Okay, I get it. Respect. Does it often happen to challenge creators adjust the TTL? No. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm just pointing out a little tidbit that you can use to... This is a game of enumeration we're playing, kids. The more information that we get about the machine... the more information we get about the machine, the better. Let's go ahead and delete all of this for right now. Because this is Newbie Tuesday. So we're just going to do a basic Nmap scan. We're going to start with a basic port scan that's going to tell us, start indicating what services are available on the box. F5 Naran and J Mesa, thank you for the follows. Math is hard? It is indeed hard. So we only see one port. So Nmap reports a few things here, and we want to note a couple of things about this. First, that TCP port 80 does appear to be open. That is the hard data that Nmap is giving us. Nmap is also reporting that the service is HTTP, but Nmap doesn't actually know if this. It's only guessing based on which port this is. That you can put any service on any port. There's no rule anywhere that says web servers have to be on port 80. And many times they will be on different ports. So this could be theoretically anything. It's just probably port 80, or probably HTTP. Are CTFs the best way to get into pen test or red team or job? I would say for a beginner, CTFs are a great way to start, because they don't cost any money. That's the biggest thing. CTFs don't cost any money unless you're paying for a subscription. But these sites all have free stuff, free content. So you can tell if you like it without paying any money or investing too much into it. I would say they're a good place to start for a beginner, yes. So, and also, another thing to note is that by default, Nmap only scans the top 1,000 ports. Okay? Did Alhazard get a haircut? I actually got a lot of hairs cut, but thank you for noticing. Learning pads are very good for... Yeah, TryHackMe is great for beginners. The learning pads are great for beginners. Yeah. So, and only the top 1,000 ports are scanned by Nmap as by default. And do we mean ports 1 to 1,000 by that? No. We mean the 1,000 most common ports are scanned by Nmap. There are 65,535 ports, and that's just on the TCP side. If we talk about UDP, there's another 65,535 ports. So here's a fun little interview question for you guys. Did you forget port? Oh, fuck. Technically, port 0 is a port. Technically. But nothing runs on it. Anyway, So here's an interview question for you. What port does ping run on? On what port does ping work? Oh, by the way, we should start Stream Raiders, shouldn't we? Yeah, it's a trick question. It's a trick question. Ports are only used by TCP and UDP on layer 3. ICMP is an entirely different protocol and doesn't use ports. ICMP does not use ports. You'll get that question on interviews now and then. Yep, none of you guys are falling for it. All right, we're starting Stream Raiders. Whew. Why would you use UDP is a question I have gotten. Do you want to know the answer to that question? The answer is you're using it right now. UDP is being used right now. You are all using UDP right now. For what? Streaming. Yeah. Why? Why does streaming use UDP? Why do you think it's called a stream? They don't call it a stream for nothing. That comes from the UDP protocol. And the answer is it fast. Stream go burr. Okay? Like generally for a live stream, you don't care if you drop a few packets now and then. I'm not dropping any right now, as it turns out. But it doesn't matter if you drop frames. It doesn't matter if you drop a few frames now and then. What matters is that the packets are sent as fast as possible. Okay? Yeah, I'd like to... Yeah, Jifferam doing the... I'd like to tell you a UDP joke, but you might not get it. Also, scanning UDP ports is much harder because you get... Yeah, UDP... You can do a scan of UDP as well. But it's going to tend to be very unreliable. So let's do a full port scan. Let's scan all ports of this sumbitch. Do you make notes that people can look at? I do. My notes, I have a... I haven't updated it in about a month or two. But my current cheat sheet... my current working notes are on my Patreon. We call them the Necronomicon right here. All of this stuff is available on my my Patreon. I need to update it. I will update it tonight before I go to DEF CON. I transferred a 4 megabyte file on TFTP and it took 80 minutes. That's because that's not what TFTP is meant to be used for. TCP is better for when you need every single packet to get where it needs to go and be reassembled in the correct order on the other end. Okay? TCP for reliability, UDP for speed. All right, so let's look at port 80. Well, the port scan of 65,535 TCP ports is going to take a little bit longer. So let's just go ahead and browse to port 80 and see if there is a web server there. Looks like I have burp listening. Let's just turn that off for right now in case we have a need for it. We see we're on some kind of admin dashboard. This looks familiar to me. I feel like I've seen this before. This doesn't actually lead anywhere. All of these links don't actually lead anywhere. We have some messages. Except I can't... These messages don't lead anywhere either. Notifications that don't lead anywhere. Utilities. All of these links don't actually go anywhere. And you can tell if you look at the little URL of the link in the bottom left. Blank is actually something. It is blank. Yes, accurate. There is no login. No index.html. So this looks to be like some kind of a placeholder. Copyright your website 2021. It's very fancy looking. Don't forget to check robots. Yeah, we will. We will in just a second. One step at a time. One step at a time. Now, don't get too ahead of yourselves, okay? You all want to enumerate. I get it. You're chomping at the bit, okay? You're all horsies chomping at the bit. I get it. You want to enumerate. Like, Mr. Streamer, why are you not enumerating this thing that I already would have enumerated? Look, when I go to a website, I like to just click around and look at what the website does before I go start trying to break it immediately, okay? Like, let's just take a breath, okay? Everybody deep breaths. Okay, all right, now we're good. We're just clicking around a little bit. We like to see what functionality is present. Now, this seems to be some kind of, this is probably some kind of CMS or something like that. Because I feel like I've seen this before. But yes, robots.txt is good to pick. So what is robots.txt? It's not there. So no joy there. Robots.txt is a very common page that you'll find in the web root of web servers, and that's to tell Google and other search engine web crawlers what pages they're allowed to index. So some names in the messages too. Yeah, exactly. It is basically when one of Google's web crawlers that's constantly crawling the internet looking for new search results to add to the database finds a new website, it'll first try to look for robots.txt, and robots.txt will have predominantly any pages that the owner of the website does not want cataloged by Google. So yeah, that's always good to check for. You'll see that quite a bit. We can start with GoBuster as well. So, wait, none of these links, there's tons of links here, but all of them don't really seem to lead anywhere. None of them really seem to lead anywhere. So we want to try to, like, do a directory brute force. I'm going to explain what all this does, don't worry. So GoBuster is going to automatically search for things like admin, an admin page, which is apparently what we're looking at now, or a login page. It looks like it may just redirect us to this page no matter what we browse to. But if we see that, we'll... There we go. Okay. So it's basically automatically going to check for all of those directories. Yeah, it looks like it's doing a wildcard. Like literally, so the first thing that GoBuster does is it tries to browse to this randomly generated page that shouldn't exist. It wants to fingerprint how the web server responds to pages that do not exist. Does it give a 404? Does it give a 302 redirect? What does it do? How do you hide robots.txt but have it be checked by web crawlers? You can't. That's just something that you have to accept. The better option is just to have robots.txt in there, and if you don't want any hackers browsing to any endpoints that are in it, then just make them inaccessible externally, or accessible only to certain IP addresses. Kareem, Dr. Sunny K, and Lathani, thank you for the follow. Is this a web server property? How it responds not existing? It's not always 404? No, it's not always 404. Web servers will respond. This is actually pretty common in modern websites. It's pretty common to get this wildcard response where it always returns a 200 no matter what. This is specifically to prevent what we're trying to do just here. So, it looks like GoBuster is going to be ineffective. Is it possible it causes problems that we use the IP and not the domain? Yeah, probably. Possibly. But we don't see a domain. Like, I looked through here, and I did not see a domain. You'll usually see it in, like, image requests. Can't you spoof your user agent and your IP still access it? I mean, spoofing your IP is harder than you seem to be making it out to be. But yes, theoretically, depending on how the filter works, sure. TechX20, what the fuck is this extension? This is threads. Oh, I meant to put threads. It looks like I just I mistyped that. It didn't make any difference. It didn't make any difference. I meant to type TAC-T20. Is Dirbuster the same as GoBuster? Dirbuster has a GUI, and GoBuster doesn't. I prefer GoBuster. There's also Feroxbuster, which is recursive by default. So we don't see anything just yet. I guess at this point I should fire up Burp. So we're going to fire up our web proxy, which will intercept all requests to and from our web browser, so we can inspect the HTTP traffic a little bit closer. The description shows PHP and back. Oh, is it that thing again, dude? God damn it. The week that came out, they released a Hack the Box machine on it, and it caught me off guard. Let's look at inspect. Let's look at network. So in the inspect element, you can see the requests without having to do a web proxy. Here you can see the headers that were requested. Here you can see my raw HTTP request, or at least all the headers, and we can click here to look at the response. No response data. Oh, because I turned Burp on. Let's try it again. There we go. Now we're getting all this crap here. All right, so where is any one of these requests should do? We'll just do this one. So, response. Let's look at raw so we can I see the headers? Where are the response headers? Headers. Oh, here's the response headers right here. Yeah, this is it. So, this is what you're supposed to see. What you're supposed to see is that it says hopefully it's not too small. And the only reason this sticks out to me is because it burned me one time. So now I'm never going to forget which version of PHP was backdoored. So this version of PHP had a supply chain backdoor or a supply chain compromise, as in I think unknown actors compromised PHP's source code and put a backdoor into it. You could also curl it. We'll probably curl to exploit it. But if you can see this if you just search exploit. Let me just Google it. It's probably clearer if I just Google it. Let's close Burp. Okay. Yeah, I remember they were, like, the week after this came out, they released a Hack the Box machine that used this as the foothold, and we were stuck for, like, an hour. Like, First Blood was in, like, 5 seconds. I remember it distinctly. First Blood was, like, 5 seconds in, and then we just sat there enumerating, like, cucks for like, an hour. Before, I think it was Gumby, who said, oh, this PHP version is backdoored. All right, so yeah, remote code, user agent remote code execution. An early release of PHP 8.1.0 dev version was released with a backdoor on March 28th, 2021, but the backdoor was quickly discovered and removed. If this version of PHP runs on a server, an attacker can execute arbitrary code by sending the user agent with 2 T's header. So you don't. They do have an exploit here, but we're not going to do that. This is the header we need. It just needs to look like this. Okay, so curl. .10.10.66.200. Okay, so curl is just a command line utility for browsing web pages. Lets us fine-tune our HTTP requests very easily. This vulnerability could be a slightly out-of-date April Fool's joke. Maybe it was intended that way. I don't know. So we could, with attack capital H, we can add an arbitrary header. So I believe to trigger this vulnerability, it needs to be, the header needs to be called user agent with 2 T's. And it needs to have this zerodium string in here as well, I think. So I don't know what zerodium is. That's just a string they chose. Oh, I dropped something on the keyboard. And then everything, if you have this string, user agent, zerodium system, anything after this is interpreted as PHP. So you can do like PHP Info. Unexpected end of file. Maybe I need to put a semicolon in there. There we go. So let's see if we get the PHP info output there. We do. This is the PHP input output. The input. See this? This is not part of the web page. This is the PHP info. I know it's hard to tell. I'm looking for... Here we go. PHP info right here. PHP.net, a bunch of PHP information. PHP info is a simple method on in PHP that just gives a bunch of information about the instance of PHP that's running. All that we're using it for is to verify code execution in PHP. So now we can get code execution by using the system method. We can do like system ID. Okay, we're getting a lot of crap. But I bet we'll be like www data or something. It's probably the output is going to be at the beginning of the page. We'll do that again, and we'll just pipe it into less. There we go. So we're looking. Where is the output of my command? Am I missing it? Where is my command output? Oh, it's right here. Oh, we're just root. It's right here at the beginning. It's right, yeah. So we're just root. That's all it is. So we can do like cat root.text. That's where the flag is. Unless we're in a container. Are we in a container? We're not in a container. You wouldn't do that to me. On Newbie Tuesday, the day of our Lord? You wouldn't drop me in a Docker container, you cuck. All right, fine. We'll get a shell. We will get a shell. Let me check to see if we're in a Docker container. ls tac la root. That's not where the root flag is? All right, fine. We are in a fucking container. You're lying to me. Yo, Zictex, why you lying, bro? Why you have to lie to me in my own chat, Zictex? Zictex. Do you really think someone would do that, chat? Just go on the internet and tell lies? You see, Fleck. Oh, that was a test, chat. Nice, good job, chat. That was a test. That was a test. You passed. You passed, chat. I was hoping you would. I was hoping you would notice that, because I definitely saw it, and I definitely wasn't focused on yelling at Zictext in the chat. All right, well, we found the flag. We could get a reverse shell here.
What are you doing, step bro?
Feels bra is just upset. He's sad. He's sad. Okay. He's sad that we're gonna get root so fast. Don't worry, we're gonna do another box after this. We're not done. God damn it. I did this correctly, didn't I? It says fine, we're getting a shell. We're gonna get the shell, okay? We'll get the shell, you degenerates. Alright, let's go to fucking hack tool. Do we have fucking netcat? Because the bash shell is going to be annoying with all these quotes. We do not, as it appears. I didn't lie initially, but then you lied after that. The bash shell is going to be so annoying. Okay, I guess we got to go for it. I'll just have to escape them. We're going to escape them. All right, 10.13.10.69. Nice. 8443. This is a browser extension that you can download called Hack Tools. And if you're wondering why, Mr. Streamer, my eyes, it's because I constantly change this to dark, and it still does not stay dark. It just arbitrarily goes back to light whenever it wants to. Okay, so... Okay, so we do need to escape these single quotes. All right, hopefully that works. We can start a reverse shell listener. So we're going to start a listener on our machine that's going to listen for connections. And this command, if it executes properly, should initiate a connection back to my machine at this IP address and connect to our listener. Of course, we get the quote thing. What did I mess up with my quotes? I'm escaping the single quote. What is your problem? I'm escaping. Move quote on end. I did not move the quote on the end. There's a quote here. There's a quote here. Why is this quote not properly escaped? I told you the bash shell was going to be fucking annoying. God damn it. Weird character. I mean, again, we're in nested quotes. The problem is nested quotes. But I'm pretty sure I'm escaping the quotes. And yet it's giving me this stupid thing. I have no idea why it's giving me this. Double quotes, apparently, are not... There's double quote here, and there's double quote here. What's the confusion? I don't know what the confusion is. It's not escaping the last single... Yeah, well, I can tell that. My question is why? Why is it not escaping that? It looks like it's escaping it. Maybe add a space? Why the fuck would that help it? Okay. People are giving me nonsensical things now. Why the fuck would adding a space do anything? Netcat probably won't work because... God, there's still quotes. Like, there's quotes in all of these. Alright, we're going with the hard one. We'll do this. I guess I have to escape the bad characters. So, I'm going to show you how to deal with bad characters, okay? So, let's do /bin/bash. I was too lazy to do this before, but I guess I'm doing it now. Okay. We base 64 it. And we're going to send this to the target. And we're going to echo it. Pipe the output into base 64-D and pipe that into bash. And there we go. There we are. Okay. Any questions about any of that? Watch base 64 not be installed. It's standard on Linux. Even containers will have it. R53 and Nicole. Is it Ars Nicole? I guess. Thank you for the follow. What is TACW0? TACW0 means don't make new lines. Normally the base 64 command, if you base 64 enough data, will start putting arbitrary new lines in here to like make it all fit in the console. TACW0 means don't put new lines into it. Just print it out print it out raw. That's the only way we do anything on this stream, chat. Raw. All right, can we cat out the flag.txt? Okay, I don't know why we didn't get it before. But we did it. Good work, team. All right, any questions about that box before we move on? We're going to do another one. We're going to do another one. What questions do you guys have? Docker machine next? Technically, this was a Docker machine, okay? Technically. Can you point out which page gave you the request header with the PHP info again? Gave you the request header with the... Oh, just they all will give it. That was just a server header. It was just the...
A hunter
it looks like the login page, but every single page you browse to leads you to the same page right here. It's not... It doesn't have to be login. You could have done this at... You could have done this too. Is it doing burp again? No. What the hell just happened? Did it terminate because I turned the flag in? It shouldn't have. No, it didn't. Which box are we doing now? Not sure yet. We're gonna figure it out. The server's is hanging because it's not multi-threaded, maybe. But my point is you could have browsed to any page here. They all you get sent the same response no matter what page you browse for, anyways. Why were there 2 T's on the end of the user agent in the prior command? Because that's what the backdoor requires. So this is an intentionally placed backdoor. Someone put an intentional malicious backdoor in this particular version of PHP. And it's triggered by sending a user agent header with 2 T's. Does that make sense? Have you done the burp certification? I have not. I've been doing the labs with the examine mine. Seems like it's a pretty hard test. I've heard that it's very hard, yes. Bite K with a 2-month re-indoctrination. Welcome back, Bezos Initiate. Fella Pro, thank you for the follow. Cthulhu fought into you, my friend. Alright, what dark magics? What eldritch rituals will we face next, okay? What wacky shenaniganry awaits us? Okay, let's go back to learn. What boxes do you guys want to see? I'm open to anything. Is there a box that you particularly want to see? I'll throw in a few medium boxes this time. Time for a Windows box. We've done a window. Like every single day someone asks for a Windows box, and there's only so many Windows boxes. I've done like 1 million of them. And I'm not saying I'm against doing Windows boxes. I'm just saying I can't do a Windows box literally every day because there's not enough of them. Oh, I did Cyber Heroes. We don't want to do that again. We did Biblioteca. Plotted TMS sounds interesting. Again, we try to keep it a little bit easier. On Newbie Tuesday, because we don't want to leave any newbies in the lurch here. Committed looks pretty familiar to your CTF. Yeah, I was trying to indicate that people, before I did the CTF, I was trying to indicate that, hey, maybe we should do committed. Maybe that would help you. And nobody took the hint. Unobtainium. You know what? I got my vindication from Unobtainium. Because Tibbs went and did Unobtainium too, and he also couldn't root it. He ran into the same problem I did. So, he also is of the opinion the box is just busted. I'll try asking again. It's off topic. Have you ever seen, or is there a known tool set up to make all ports to respond as open when scanned? Why would you do that? I don't know why you would want to do that, first of all. Second of all, I've never seen that configuration ever in my life. So I don't know if it exists. My guess is that you could probably fashion a firewall rule that would do that. But it's very strange to do that. Be very, very strange. Maybe not a firewall rule, but you could easily configure... You'd have to listen on literally all ports, and you wouldn't be able to have any services listening. It'd be very, very strange. It'd take a lot of work, and it wouldn't be useful. It just wouldn't be useful. DEFCON haircut looking good. Thank you, Syphiloid. It's very kind of you. To hide the ones that are actually in use. I mean, I get that, but why not just use a firewall the same way everybody does? Like nobody uses that configuration you're talking about. It'd be very, very strange. Flatline was selected. Let's do it. Let's get it going. All right. This is the kind of challenge I like to see, where it's just clear cut, get the user flat flag, and get the root flag. Let's start the thing. Judging by the name of the box, we're going deep into the bowels of the true horror is not Cthulhu, chat. It's the American healthcare system. That's the true horror, okay? And that's what we're experiencing today. The cosmic horror of the American healthcare system. Let's go back to... What healthcare system? Good. That's the correct response. Let's go ahead and terminate that. Okay. Alrighty, we're doing some Flatline. I'm waiting for the box to spin up. I'm just giving it a minute before I start scanning it. Before I start pounding it like Riley Reid. You know how it is. You know how we do on this chat. Let's do Stream Raiders. Cosmic Horror of Help Desk? Oh, yeah. I mean, I was talking about the American healthcare system, but Help Desk also is terrible. All right. Looks like it wants me to place barbarians for my quest. Is this a... Wait, which one is the barbarian? What the fuck? It says place barbarians. What barbarian? Stream Raiders, help! Oh, that barbarian. Mine looks like a Reaper thing. I'm an idiot. I've done Stream Raiders for a long time. I forgot that this was called a barbarian. I have too many skins, yeah. There we go. Alright. Let's change the current challenge. We're doing Flatline on TryHackMe. Alright, let's do it. What's going on? Stop. Mouse was jacked up there for a second. Let's kill this Tmux section and make a new one. I like to start in a fresh session for a new box. Flatline. Tmux. If you don't know, this terminal looks this way because I'm using a terminal emulator called I'm using a terminal multiplexer, not emulator, called Tmux. I highly recommend you get familiar with some kind of terminal multiplexer or similar technology like Terminator, or something like that. You're gonna run into situations really fast in this field where you want to have multiple terminals open at once. Flatline. What is the IP address? I'm assuming I can start scanning it now. Okay. So now we're going to do a slightly longer scan. And I'll explain what all of these options are doing. But you're going to see that we're going to get a lot more output from this scan. So first of all, this TAC-SV is doing a version scan. Nmap is going to, whenever it finds an open port, it's going to do a whole bunch more testing to see to try and tell what kind of software, what software is running on the other end of that port. And ideally what version it is and any information it can about it. TAC-SC is to enumerate even further and run a few default scripts. Nmap has an entire library of scripts that you can use to even scan for various vulnerabilities and scan for, enumerate various services more completely, things of that nature. TAC-SC just runs the few ones of those scripts that are designated as default, as in they will, it'll like, if it finds an FTP server, it'll see if anonymous login is enabled and stuff like that. It just gives us a little bit more information. TAC-ON is to output to a file in Nmap format to a file called prelim. This is my preliminary Nmap scan. That's just what I like to call the file. TAC-V is for verbose mode, so you're going to see a lot more Nmap output before it's done. And TAC-PN means don't ping beforehand, because we don't need to. All right, so we have... Oh! I went on this long rant saying we couldn't always do Windows boxes. Is this just a Windows box, chat? Is this just a Windows box? Did we even ping it? I don't even think I pinged it. Let's ping it really fast so I can illustrate the TTL thing. Or it may not respond to pings. Yeah. So this box does not respond to pings. That would be because Windows Firewall, by default, does not respond to pings. It's very common to see Windows machines in the wild that do not respond to pings. Is port 3389 RDP? It is. It is. That's why I looked at it and I said, oh, it's Windows. 3389 is a port you almost always see open on Windows machines. Let's see what ports we have open. You see we have a lot more output. We do have port 3389, and we have some kind of thing on 8021. Free switch event? What the fuck is free switch? How to discover their existence if they don't respond? Nmap has, typically you'd scan for like port 80 or whatever, but the only way to really know is to scan all ports and see if it's listening on any ports. What the hell is free switch? Versatile software. So it's something. Let's just start a full port scan. Okay. So we'll start an all ports scan. Oh, we have to, again, Nmap does a ping before it starts to scan to see if the host is alive. You can turn that off with TACPN. Good old free switch. I used to work with that. Seems interesting. I don't know what we're going to be dealing with just yet. Okay, let's look at this free switch thing. 3389 is likely to require credentials. Is this some kind of... Can I browse to this? What is this? I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay. Is it good practice to disable ping scan for every box, or does it depend? It depends on if you're scanning a lot of boxes. If you're scanning a whole subnet, then you want the ping scan on because you don't want to waste time scanning boxes that aren't actually up. What am I waiting on here? Oh, I forgot to put the port. 8021. See if we get anything. It may not be a web server. It may not serve HTTP requests. I don't know based on this. It seems like it probably does not. Let's try connecting to it with Netcat. We could just try poking at it. Was it 8021? Auth request. It looks like that looks like part of an HTTP request. Test. Help. What are you? Command reply. Command not found. Error. Command not found. So this is some kind of command thing? Is there any actual use case? Is that a serious question, Zictex? Is that a serious question you just asked me? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can figure out what this is all about. Free switch. Command execution. Now I don't think we actually know what version it is. So it may not be vulnerable. What is going on? Stop. What is happening? Stop. Like, it's doing that before, too. What the fuck? Listens on port 8021 and will accept and run commands sent to it after authenticating. By default, commands are... So what password is ClueCon? Auth. Oh boy. Okay, so it looks like... It's just auth and then ClueCon? Let's try that. Okay, we send this. I don't want to... You could just probably run this script or whatever to see if it works. I'm going to do it manually just because I want to. Okay, accepted. Okay, good, great. Now what? API system and then CMD. Is it that simple? So you could do like API system, who am I? And then it doesn't respond. Oh yes, sweet. Yeah, wow. Okay, great. I don't know what's happening, but I don't know what's happening, but it looks like this is working. Wow. Yeah, great. We did it. Good work, team. How often do you use Metasploit doing your normal job? Pretty common. Pretty often. Since nearly all payloads get caught by some form of EDR or AV, that's not true. How often is Metasploit put to use during times when you have to be stealthy? I mean, I'm sure some people do use it to great effect in red teams. Like OSCE uses, or OSEP uses Metasploit. I use Cobalt Strike for most of my red team operations, but that doesn't mean Metasploit's not a good tool. We do have command execution here. So we send this. Let me send this again. Does it take a second to respond, or what's the dealio with this? Do I have to hit it? Oh, I think I have to hit it 4 times? Okay. Well, let's just do a, I guess, PowerShell reverse shell. Now, this is a Windows machine. So we are the necrotic user. So let's go ahead and get a PowerShell reverse shell. Now, there is one. There is a PowerShell reverse shell right here. But this reverse shell will get caught by Windows Defender. And it's not like I'm expecting Windows Defender to be present. This isn't Hack the Box, after all. This is an easy machine. I don't expect there to be Windows Defender. But just in case there is, I'm going to use the one Cthulhu.ps1. I'm going to use my version of that same shell that's in the Necronomicon. Over here. It's under Windows, PowerShell. This is a super obfuscated reverse shell. This is giga obfuscated. But we don't need that. I just need my typical one. This one right here. This one I've obfuscated to get past Windows Defender. I've obfuscated it just enough. And by obfuscated, I mean I changed all the variable names. I changed the strings, and that was it. that was it. That was all I did. If you want the Necronomicon, it's on my Patreon. Sell me your note collection. My dude, it's on my Patreon. I keep saying it's on the Patreon. My notes, I'm going to update them tonight. I'll post the new ones tonight. Have you ever used Metasploit Pro or Core Impact? No, I have never used those. I don't know if they're good or bad. Never used them. So we do need 10, 13. We changed our IP address right here. So this is a PowerShell reverse shell, much like the bash one you saw earlier. It's just written in PowerShell because this is a Windows machine. And now, in order to get this to work properly, we have to convert. There we go. Oh, this is a good way to show this. Someone was asking about the TAC W0 at the end. Let me show you what base 64 looks like if you don't do that. Do you see how it puts these new lines in here? It puts new lines at the end of every line. If you want to avoid that, which I often do, you do TAC W0, so it just wraps. There we go. Why aren't you double clutching or granny shifting, sir? What do you mean by that? I do drive a stick shift. But I don't expect any of you guys to know that. If you did know that, I would be like, am I being stalked? Is there a stalking situation? PowerShell.exe. TAC nop, TAC exec bypass, TAC w hidden. So this is no profile. Execute PowerShell without the user's profile. PowerShell profile. TAC exec. TAC executive execution policy bypass. This will bypass any script execution policy. It shouldn't be necessary in our case, but still. TAC W hidden is to execute in a hidden window. And TAC E for encoded command, and we'll just paste this in here. We want to do RL wrap here so that it handles or makes our shell a little bit prettier. And enables us to use, like, tab autocomplete and stuff. All right, let's see if we get a callback. We do not get a response. Come on. Sometimes it takes a second for a PowerShell reverse shell to come in. If it doesn't work, I can try putting this in quotes as well. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be in quotes or not. Actually, now that I think about it, it probably is. So let's go ahead and do this again. We do auth. And then what was the password? ClueCon. Okay. And then API system. Who am I? Verify we can execute operating system commands. Come on. What the hell? Okay. API system. Who am I? There we go. Okay, so don't hit any extraneous new lines, I guess. All right, so now it's API system. And we'll just copy and paste the entire PowerShell command from before. If you're wondering why a PowerShell reverse shell is so much longer than a bash reverse shell, it would be because PowerShell is dog shit. God damn it. There's a new line in there. It's not going to execute. There's a fucking new line in there. Okay. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, now it gets back to me, finally. Like, this is so bizarre. Oh, like... What the fuck? After, like, 900 hours, the first reverse shell finally got back to us. This is... It did its best, okay? Yeah, it's doing its best, all right? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but we do have a reverse shell, okay? Which means...
Hackerman.
I'm in. All right. Just don't hit Control-C. I didn't. All right, so we are the necrotic user. Let's try to go into C users necrotic. Let's go to the desktop. Dir. See if there's a user.txt. There is. And we also see a root.txt. We also see a root.txt. Okay, we do get the user.txt. Now I imagine there's a little bit more spice involved with this root.txt. Is there just not? It looks like there's something in it. Is it an alternate data stream again? I don't think so. I don't think this would show if it was an alternate data stream. Cat in CMD, I mean PowerShell. I just typed it. Oh, I used type. Fuck, you're right. I'm an idiot. Still didn't work, so get fucked. You could also do get content, or GC for short. Root.txt. Yeah, so... yeah, we can do get ACL. Root.txt to see what permissions the file has. Or PowerShell will just hang here forever because PowerShell is dog shit. I rest my case. Okay, it's just system. So it's only NT Authority system has control. So the root.txt might be here, but we need to be system in order to exploit it. So what do I want to do at this point? Let's look at the C dollar share. Let's see if there's anything in here. Projects. Dir. Open Clinic. Dir. So this is something. Open Clinic start services.exe. Open Clinic GA login.exe. Configure language, configure country, uninstall. It's got Java, it's got MariaDB. Stop Open Clinic. Let me read this batch script. Services. Okay, let's do cmd/c scqc open clinic http. See if we can get service information. Well, I do see a problem here. Maybe it's not a problem. There's no spaces. Yeah, it's an unquoted service. There's an unquoted service path, but there are no spaces in the file names. Do you have file permissions to overwrite it? Possibly. That would be the next thing to worry about. But is this service even running? It says auto start, so I'm assuming so. And this isn't local. It's not running as system either. It's running as a service. So it's probably not useful to us for Privesk. I think a network service would be a downgrade. What about with spaces? What do you do? So if there are spaces in the file name and the path is not quoted, you can exploit that. If you can write to any of the directories in the path, you can often exploit a directory that has an unquoted service path with spaces in it. But that's not what we see here. And besides, again, I think it'd be kind of a downgrade to go to a local service, so this probably is a dead end. But we can run power up really quickly, because now I'm thinking about services. So we might as well run power up really quickly. So cd opt PowerShell. I like to start with power up because it's short, doesn't have a whole lot of output, and often finds what I'm looking for right off the bat. So we'll just let's get power up.ps1. Okay. IEX for invoke expression, as in we're going to pass PowerShell a string that we just wanted to execute. We're going to have it inside of the parentheses. We're going to put IWR for invoke web request, meaning we're going to send a web request to 10.13.10.69. Nice, which is my IP address for powerup.ps1, and use basic parsing. So this means we're just going to download the script straight from my web server and execute it with invoke expression. I didn't even check to see if Windows Defender is running. I ain't scared. YOLO. That's what the kids are saying, right? Weren't we working Wreath last week? We were. I'm going to continue Wreath next week when I have multiple streams in a row. This is a pre-DEF CON stream. So, like, I'm going to be... The next couple of streams are not going to be at the normal time. YOLO swag. Yes, indeed. Why is this taking so long? This box just inexplicably takes forever, but it looks like it did download. Okay? So you might be wondering why we're not seeing output. That's because we have the script in memory. We just have to invoke it. So invoke... all checks. And power up should run when this box decides, when the hamster that's running on this box, that's taken the place of this box's CPU, actually gets to it. Any day now. Come on. What the fuck is going on? Jesus. Has TryHackMe been throttling back on their resources that they give to boxes lately? Because this is absurd. What is that? Oh my god. Tell me you're like 20 years old, Dark Eldar, without telling me you're like 20 years old. Then your dad picks up the phone. You have to corpse run to Oasis of Mar. Yeah. Yeah, the flatline is the box's response time. Jesus. Box dev with limited dude, this isn't just limited. This thing is running... This thing literally has half of a CPU. It's like they literally just lasered a CPU right in half, and that's the CPU I get. Come on, dude. This is just... It's just not responding. Are we just... do we just not get to use power up, maybe? We had this problem. We did try Hack Me last stream too, and we had this exact same problem where the box just would not respond. Like it was taking 3 hours for any kind of response from this box, or from the box. Is it running in the background? No, it should be spitting out output. I don't know. I don't even know what to do here. I don't know if I should wait or. Necrotic is in administrators group. Well, if that's the case, we might be able to just get like load an interpreter shell and get system. It's actually always the Windows boxes lately. That's because Windows requires more resources than Linux does, and TryHackMe is not giving them enough resources. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, OreoBite, but this is a pain. I mean, I guess we'll kill our shell here. I guess power up is kind of dead to us. I guess we can't use power up. Okay, API, system, PowerShell. This is so painful. I'm not, like, I don't want to go through this again like we did with the last box where... Like, literally, you can't even do anything on the box because it takes fucking 3.5 hours to respond to you. Like, I can't sit here and do this. I can't sit... I'm on stream. I can't just sit here and wait for the box to respond for 4 hours. Let's just hit enter a whole bunch of times. And I guess we just sit here and wait. You may have to regenerate the VPN. Why in the world would that help? Our VPN is connected. We didn't have any problems with the last box. What do you mean, regenerate the VPN? Oh, you're talking to Mr. Robot. Yeah, you may want to regenerate your VPN there, Mr. Robot. Yeah, sorry about that. Like, do you see how long it takes for a simple PowerShell reverse shell to connect to us? This is fucking absurd. This is insane how long this takes. Did you top off your Wi-Fi fluid? I'm not on Wi-Fi. Why the fuck would I stream on Wi-Fi? I'm not an idiot. Oh my fucking god. Please kill me. This is fucking crazy, dude. Is this... Oh, I must have actually typed something wrong. Did I do TAC C? Oh, I didn't do TAC E. That would explain it. Okay, API, system. At least it was my fault. TAC W hidden. TAC, exact bypass. TAC no profile. TAC E for encoded payload. Let's try it again. Oh my god, why is there a new line? I fucking hate this. Why is there a new line? You motherfucker. Why is there a new line? Why are there fucking new lines? There's a fucking new line, so this is worthless. I don't know why there's a new line, but there is. I don't have xclip. Xclip. I'm just going to transmit it directly to my clipboard so that I don't have any terminal craziness adding new lines where I don't fucking want them. The biggest thorn in my side is random fucking new lines and like placed in stuff I'm copying into or out of my terminal.
A hunter must hunt.
Hey, Danark first. Thank you so much for the 10 months of Bezos indoctrination into the cult. Yeah, see, there we go. No new lines. So I used xclip to just copy it directly into my clipboard without having to copy and paste. I'm just going to assume this is fucking dead. Okay. Auth Clucon. Okay. API system for the millionth fucking time. PowerShell. Tac exec. Bypass. Tac W. Hidden. Tac no profile. Tac E. And we paste this in. No new lines. Good to go. I can't just remove the new line either because we're in like a netcat shell. Like like it's not going to interpret any of my keystrokes. Just hit enter a whole bunch of times. And now we wait for like 19 hours. It's clearly Danarchist. Okay, my bad. Fair enough. Danarchist. 10-month re-indoctrination. GZ Hero, thanks for the follow. Cthulhu Fountain to you, my friend. Oh my god. It's called... Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think it's called Flatline. Because you will actually be dead by the time the box actually responds to you. This is insanity. What are you looking forward to at DEF CON? By the time I get back from DEF CON, the box may have responded to me. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, there we go. We finally got it. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. We have a shell again. So this project's directory has to be the path. Net local group administrators. You guys said that we're in the administrators group. Do you see how long I run a single command? Do you see how long it takes? We're actually in the administrator group. You're actually right about that. So we can go task list. I had just assumed that was not the case, but you know what they say when you assume. Do we have msmpeng.exe? We do have mp command run, but I don't see msmpeng.exe. What is msmpeng.exe? msmpeng.exe. Yeah, it's Windows Defender. Oh, it is there. You're right. I just didn't see it. Just because this is here, does not necessarily mean that Windows Defender is running. It may not have real-time monitoring mode enabled. Okay. Let's try sudo msfdb run. It's a process that runs in the background to ensure Defender's functions appropriate. Yes. But it doesn't always mean that Defender's actually running. It just means it's not fully disabled. Maticus Maximus is still triggered. Still triggered by this song. Search. Script. I want the scripted web delivery. Trying to find a particular module. This looks good. I think that's the one I want. This will let you just pop a interpreter shell from a script. Show targets. Set target to. We want to target PowerShell. PSH. Set localhost. Set local port. 844. We'll do 8444. Oh. Set payload. Windows, x64, interpreter, reverse, TCP, run. There we go. So we're going to run this. You'll note it looks very similar to the one we ran a little while ago. And we're just going to run it in this same exact shell. I don't want to risk losing my shell. Clucon. System. API system. Okay. We'll see if Windows Defender is enabled. If it's not disabled, this should work. The job is listening. It might take a second to call back. Or Windows Defender may have stopped it. I'm not going to bother like doing any crazy obfuscation on this box. I'm going to head out to make dinner. Yeah, I need to pack too. I don't want to be online for forever tonight. Oh, there we go. So it is calling back to us. We should get Interpreter Session 1 opened. We do. Sessions, TAC I1. All right, so here we are. We have a Interpreter Session on the box. Now, why would I want a Interpreter Session? You don't see me very often use a Interpreter Session, get a Interpreter Session like this. Why, in this particular situation, did I decide to get a Interpreter Session? Isn't this God of War soundtrack? Yeah, it's the Valkyrie soundtrack from God of War. Yeah, get system. And also unstable shell. That is true, Jay Fosta. That is also true. But get system should just automatically be able to pop us a system shell. Yep, and there we go. That's all it took. Now we're system. Yep, there you go. Wow, we did it. Really hacked the mainframe on that one. So what Meterpreter actually does here is it does something called named pipe impersonation to basically impersonate system briefly. So now Meterpreter is running as system. Yeah, we were local admin already. I decided to do this because we're already local admin. The flag is just only owned by system, so we have to be system in order to interact with it. What the fuck? Excuse me. It really... I can't get a shell? Are you kidding me? I have never seen Meterpreter do that. I have never seen Meterpreter do that. Okay, can I at least cat out a fucking command? Can I cat out the contents of a file from Meterpreter without CMD? Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. Even Meterpreter's like, God, dude. Yeah, even Meterpreter's like, homie, this box do be taking a while. I enjoy changing directories and waiting like a million fucking years. It's good. I'm okay. It's fine. I'm fine, chat. I'm not mad. Why would you say I'm mad? I'm not mad. And there's root.txt. Any questions about that, chat? Kind of an unusual situation. We were already administrator when we got on. If you're administrator, Meterpreter has multiple techniques that it can use to get you to system. It's trivial to execute code as system if you are an administrator. Even if you didn't do it this way, even if Meterpreter's set way somehow failed, if you're administrator on the box, you can modify a service, and you can get that, or add a scheduled task or a service, and that would trivially get you code execution as system. Or you could do it with psexec. Psexec can also get you a system shell immediately. Does the shell not showing have to do with bind versus staged? No. No, it doesn't. Did Meterpreter just privask automatically? Yes. Well, we were already administrator. So I decided to just get a Meterpreter shell and just use get system to... The trick of the box was that root.txt is owned by system. So you have to be system to get to root.txt. But if you're administrator, it's trivial to escalate the system using Meterpreter. Was SMB open? No. Take own root.txt. I'm not sure if you could do that because system owns it. I don't think you could have done that. System owned it. Besides, oh, it's just a simple command from Bravo Charlie Romeo. This very simple DOS command. And everyone loves DOS syntax. So, you know. Are you heading out? I think I am going to call it here, yes. I'm going to answer questions for a while, but I'm not going to hack anymore today. Mostly because I don't want the stream to go too long. I don't want to go too banana sandwich with the stream. The last time I streamed on the eve of having to travel was Sea Surfer, and I ended up spending like 7 hours on that box. And I still have to pack tonight, so I'll answer questions, but I think we're done with the hacking tonight. Once you get admin, what's the quickest way to get NT system manually? psexec. I would say psexec. psexec is a very, very simple... psexec by default will execute code as system. By default, psexec executes code as system. So it's simple enough to just pop a CMD. Oh yeah, Stream Raiders. If you other than Meterpreter's get system, Meterpreter's get system will use a number of techniques to get system. But other than Meterpreter's get system, it's probably going to be just psexec. How much RAM should I allocate for Kali VM? You shouldn't need. Yeah, you shouldn't, like 4 gigs, I would say. I wouldn't go less than 4 gigs, but you don't necessarily need more than 8, I would say. Oh yeah, who is Sin? If you didn't send me that, you better have sent me that fucking... Okay, good. Alright, good. Goody. Alright, cool. He sent it to me. That's good. I can get it well, hopefully I can get it working tonight before we go on the thing tomorrow. I go to the airport. Sorovi, big ant with the most kills and most assists. I always do 8 or 16, depending on how much RAM my host system has. Okay, what other questions you guys got, chat? Again, to reiterate, I will not be streaming normally either on Thursday or on Sunday. I will be at DEF CON. I will probably do some impromptu streams now and then, just because. But you also look for Chad B. Noob streaming. Look for Footpicks for Sale streaming. We're all gonna be hanging out together, so I'll be on those streams as well. Are you gonna stream at DEF CON? Probably. I don't know if I will or not. We'll see. I don't like to make plans or promises for DEF CON. It's gonna be chaos there. Speaking of DEF CON, I'm on the keynote panel of the Red Team Village on Friday. On Friday at 11 Pacific, I'm on the keynote panel for Red Team Village, and that's where I'll be with John Hammond, Zero Day, and Naham Sek. Gonna be getting all those escort cards exactly, dude. I'm kind of gonna add to my collection.
A fine addition to my collection.
I can't show them on stream. I mostly just do it because it annoys Helen very much. Are any talks accessible online? A lot of them will be, Who Is Sin. Are you going to complain about the sliders again? Yes. If people take my food, you'll find the quickest way to get me to complain about literally anything is taking my food. Joey doesn't share food. If you've seen Friends, don't share food. I don't share food. Okay? I'm not a food sharer. Get your own. Okay? Get your own. Now, if you ask nicely, like, hey, can I have a bite of your food? That's a different story. Then you ask nicely. If you just, reach out and take my fries, I'll bite your fucking finger off, dude. We need a King of the Hill type of contest between you, John, and Zero Day. Hey, if you want to work that out with DEF CON, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be super happy to do that for the content. I don't share drinks at all. I won't drink off of anyone, no matter how nice they ask. I just don't want people to take my food. It just bothers me. The next stream will be a week. The next regularly scheduled stream will be a week from today. I'm working on a new YouTube video on process injection. We're going to be talking manual process injection calling the Windows API. And I know you're already turned off. You're like, well, that just sounds way too high level for me. Trust me, guys, okay? I'm going to break it down. Listen, this is me we're talking about. It will be manual process. I'm going to show you how to inject into a process, how to call the Windows API intelligently, and we're going to do it in that most unmalware of languages, NIM. Okay? So I have the code written. I have it heavily commented so you can read it as a little... I have it heavily commented so you can see it. I'm going to push it to GitHub. And then I'm going to do an explanation of it. I'm going to show you how it works. We're going to walk through the code step by step. I'm going to explain what NIM is doing at every moment. This is going to be a guide in NIM. However, the Win32 API is the Win32 API. You could do very similar things in C#, in PowerShell, in C, in C++, in Rust. The Win32 is Win32. So ultimately, my choice of language doesn't matter all that much. But yeah, I prefer to code this kind of thing in NIM. So, like your BOF video, yeah, we're gonna step through it step by step. I'm gonna go through every line of the code. I'm gonna show you what it's doing. When we call the Win32 API, we're gonna make sure we know exactly what it's doing, exactly what we're passing to the Win32 API, why this is not cosmic stuff, and yeah, we're gonna step right through it, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you how to inject into processes. I'm gonna make a couple of videos on this. This is just the first of several videos that I'm gonna make on this topic. This is for the first video will be on the most common and well-known avenues of shellcode injection. Though that being using create thread and create remote thread. So, this isn't really a BOF thing. This is more of a coding your own malware sort of thing. Okay, I'm just teaching you how to inject into a process, how to inject arbitrary code into a process and execute it. There are several ways to do it. We're gonna just inject shellcode. You can also have a process load an arbitrary DLL. That is another way you can get code running in a process. But I'm going to show you how to do process injection. Like allocating memory in a process and then writing your shellcode into it and then creating a new thread to execute it. That's what we're going to be talking about. Would you be down to talk to the club for one of my seminars? Yeah, sure, absolutely. When will you do the offensive Python series? I'll start. I'm going to start working on that very soon. My biggest after DEF CON, my biggest priority is to beef up my YouTube content. I actually think I'm gonna have I think I have a video editor probably lined up. We'll see. And I hopefully my YouTube content is going to get much better from here on out and much more frequent. Is process injection a vulnerability? No, it's not a vulnerability. It's just exploiting how Windows works. It's not really a vulnerability. But if you saw it happening, you might be suspicious. Do you use these syscalls? Create remote thread on real red team engagements? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Those are some of the syscalls we'll be talking about. But those are by no means the only ways to inject shellcode into a process and run it. I do it a different way in Reanimator. For those of you who have my Patreon, what's in your Patreon? Right now, it's just my notes. There's a video on antivirus evasion, and there is and also my custom tool Reanimator, which is also written in NIM, which is a custom packer for shellcode, PEs, and C# assemblies for antivirus evasion. Reanimator does not use create remote thread. It uses Q user APC injection. But I'm not gonna. But that's more advanced than what we're gonna cover. We're gonna cover a lot of different avenues of shellcode injection. Don't worry. I'm gonna go through a lot of it. But we gotta start. We gotta start and work up. Okay, we gotta start at the baseline. We start with the most common and simplest forms of shellcode injection, and we're gonna work our way up. Okay. Will you teach us also how to crack video games? It's not really what I do, but we could maybe look at that sometime. That cheat sheet. I did at one point want to. There's a stack-based buffer overflow in Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and I had entertained for a little while the idea of trying to learn how to trigger it on stream, just for funsies. I ended up not doing it because I don't have a Nintendo 64, and I don't know if it'd work in an emulator. I wasn't able to find good information about doing it in an emulator. Only on native hardware. So malware is what I want to really learn. So this is awesome. Well, this is going to be great. Shellcode injection is an absolutely necessary skill for any malware author. Who are we rating? Good question. Let's find out who we're rating. It's Taggart better be streaming. Okay? He's not even going. This kid isn't even going to DEF CON. And you're telling me he's not streaming? What do you have to do? What better things do you have to do other than stream? You're not even going to oh, Hate Handles is streaming. We'll do Hate Handles. Pretty new streamer, okay? So, Hate Handles, a dedicated member of the cult, okay? Bring him glad tidings of Dread Cthulhu, okay? Why are we rating already? Because I have to go pack and stuff. I have tons of shit I have to do tonight. I have to get to the gym. I got to pack. I got to upload my notes to Patreon again. Lots of stuff I got to do, okay? And I also have to try and get Callie working on my freaking laptop. So, tell Hate Handles I said hi. Looks like he is doing... He's doing, it looks like TryHackMe, I think. It looks like he's doing some manner of TryHackMe. It looks like he's doing something, I think. Are you bringing the bob wig? No. I'm bringing my hoodies, though. So, next stream will be a week from today. Go to bed tonight. No, until I get back from DEF CON, go to bed tonight knowing a little bit more than you did yesterday. Watch me on Thursday, okay? I want a strong cultist showing online, okay? In the Red Team Village chat, okay? All right, I'll see you guys again when the stars are right. Have a good night, day, or whatever time it is wherever you are. Stay safe, get vaccinated, love you all. Oh, Crooked Warden, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back to the All Has Red Team. Al Mastermind Stuff, thank you for the follow.